Tally ho! Well, here I am attempting to make another video. I always search around in stores and see if I can find any new kind of tool that actually might be worth trying. And I think I found one. Now, I've been playing around with tools since I was just a kid. And so you can imagine I have over half a century of playing with tools. And this one's a cross, kind of like join two tools in one that actually works. Now, we're all familiar with the crescent wrench, adjustable wrench. You turn the screw and it engages in the teeth, makes a different size for your bolts and nuts to be able to fit into. So you can use this instead of a whole handful of wrenches. You can take one of these along and hopefully be able to fit every nut and bolt that you need. And they come in different sizes. I love the minis. And there are a use for the minis. Don't put them down. There are uses for mini tools. Vice grips. Vice grip. Here's the other half of this little morph. Vice grips. Put them on. They're like a miniature vice that you can clamp onto things and they'll be tightened down and you can hold things in place. They also come in many sizes, and because they're of their design, you can find them in many shapes for specialties. I use this one whenever I have to reach way down inside of an area, a tight fitting area, in order to hold a bolt or nut. This one, you can tell it's been used quite a bit. I used this on the job whenever I was welding tanks, and I would be able to clip two panels together and still have enough room around it. I would be able to weld and seal things up. So now for this new tool. It is a vice grip and a crescent wrench together. It doesn't seem like it's a whole lot, but anyone that's used a regular crescent wrench knows that it's hard to have it hold on to something, and a lot of times the vice grip just doesn't want to work because this will tear up a nut and bolt whenever you clamp it on. Crescent wrenches are meant to lay on the flats of the bolt, and you won't tear them up whenever you're using a crescent, as long as you have it tight. But that's another downfall. You can't tighten this on tight enough to hold bolts. Yeah, neighbor dog enjoys my videos. Okay, you just can't hold on to it and let go of it. So what they've come up with is this vice grip and a crescent wrench that will take, and you adjust it to your bolt and you can clip it and it holds it very tight. Now you can take your hand off of that and leave it on another side where it might come up against something in order to hold it, and be able to tighten on your bolt or nut on the other end, and then come back in, release it, and it comes off. Or you could use it just as a regular crescent wrench. You know, it'll work just the same as a regular crescent wrench. Now, a vice grip moves the jaws quite a bit. A lot of travel in it. This one has a very little. It's like maybe a at the most a 16th, more like a 32nd of an inch. So whenever it's snug, you can clamp it on, and it's really hard to see any movement in the jaws. I'll try and move this a little closer so you can see there's very little, very, very little travel in the jaws. But it's just enough that this will hold very tight onto a bolt or nut. When you're trying to work on the opposite side of something, that can be very handy. I've used it where I've placed a magnet on something to act as a stop, and generally that's all you really need. If you have someone that is not familiar with tools, someone your child you're trying to teach, this is a very good thing to have them hold one side while you work on the other, and they can say they help, and everything will be fine. So anyhow, I found two places that I can get these. The JobSmart is a brand now, and I am not being paid by any of the manufacturers and nothing about these. I get no money out of the videos. But I found JobSmart at Tractor Supply, and I think they were just over $10 for that. Hart brand was at Walmart. These were $7.50, $7.44, something of that nature. About $7.50. And they're very hard to find because these things are taking off in popularity. Once you've had one and used one, I will keep this in my toolbox on the road versus a crescent wrench. It's because I got two in one. And this is just as easy and actually more comfortable to use than just a regular crescent wrench, because it has a wider grip for your hands, your fingers, than on a standard crescent wrench. And yes, it's a little bit wider, of course, in the handle, but honestly, I've never found a place where that would be an issue. So anyhow, there's my review on the gripping, or a vice grip, or whatever you want to call it. I know vice grip is a trade name, I guess, because there is a vice grip company. And yeah, I do like them a lot. Anyhow, a clamping crescent wrench. Hopefully you'll be able to find one now. Best of luck to you, and I hope you have fun in some of your repairs.